Ever since I was little, I've been fascinated with Japan. From the food to sightseeing, everything to me is new and exciting. It's a country that I've been dreaming about visiting my whole life. And the first step is
So this is the seat for the first class, and you can check out the cabin. Wow, this is so spacious that I cannot even reach over there. We got some relaxation modes. Very nice. Relax. This is the one I'm going to be using the most. Oh, wow. This is amazing. This is so different than the previous flight, because on the previous flight I could barely move around, and here I have quite a few room, which is very nice.
To get to New York, I first flew American Airlines. There is a huge difference between business class and first class. It was a big wake-up call.
We got some goodies, like a fancy headset, noise cancellation to the max, baby. So they give me this little red box, toothbrush, you even get a mask. I'll tell you one thing, I am starving, and they just told me right now that you can order anything from the menu anytime. So we're gonna make sure that we got our money worth. We're gonna order everything.
Here's the interesting thing about dinner. There are two menus. One is Japanese and the other one is Western style. I chose to have Japanese, but my wife chose Western style. Now, first course was the hors d'oeuvres. They gave me asparagus wrapped in hamon. The second was bread and duck liver pate, which was quite interesting. So first, I tried the pate.
That's amazing. Gotta eat some green to stay healthy. Oh.
Have you ever had the taste of unseasoned asparagus? If you did, you know that it tastes grassy. Well, that's what it tasted like.
That was the first course. I am ready for the second course. Campari. I'll stick with ginger ale. Yes, please.
But then the next course arrived. The first thing they do is set up the table for you. And this is very nice.
Oh, that looks amazing. Oh my God, it looks so good. Next round, bamboo shoot. Is bamboo shoot really bamboo?
Bamboo shoots or bamboo sprouts is whenever bamboo is starting to grow, that little piece that comes off the ground is edible. Interesting enough, it does not have a lot of flavor to me. But since it was combined with seaweed, it took the flavor from it.
So my wife chose the Western menu. They got prosciutto, bread, apricot. I'll stick with the Japanese. Okay, next up, check out the crab, everybody. Oh wow, it's like pickled, but also at the same time quite sweet. I don't think this is imitation crab at all. Absolutely delicious.
As you can see, I really liked the crab. It was really good. Next up, it was shrimp and clams. Those two things were okay, but for sure, the shrimp was way better than the clam. Now next up, this one caught me by surprise. You had mushrooms before, right? So have I. Usually mushroom takes the flavor of whatever you're cooking it with, but I never had anything like this.
All right, mushroom time with a little bit of this sauce. That is incredible. I've never tasted anything like that.
That was a shiitake mushroom, but what I don't know is what was actually in the sauce, because it made it taste like a steak, everybody. And the next thing also surprised me quite a bit.
That's like a root. I'm discovering flavors that didn't even know existed, everybody. That was like 100% vegetarian dish, no meat at all. At the same time, that mushroom tasted like a steak. That's all I can say about that.
But enough with the vegetarian dish. It was time to try some meat, and this is what was next.
It tastes amazing. Savory and slightly sweet. What the hell? What is this inside? Let me show you guys. Check it out. I mean, take a look at it. This black thing inside of it, it's making it sweet. 10 out of 10, will highly recommend.
Come to find out later that that was plum sauce.
And here's the next course, just like that. Look at this. It is beautiful. Take a look at that. It's a little slimy. What in the world is that? Tastes a lot of seaweed on the soup. Reminds me of shrimp cake or shrimp dim sum, to be specific. That was a good soup.
Right after that soup, the next course was up.
So this one is sashimi. Not sure about this one. I'm just joking. I'm gonna devour it. We got some white fish. We also have some shrimp. What the hell is this? Some jello? You know what I'm missing here? Soy sauce. I normally don't eat white fish without soy sauce. Just tastes like white fish. Oh my God, what is this?
So here's when I found out that they really give you soy sauce, but completely different than what you would expect.
Why is this so jiggly? What is that? Oh, okay, I see where this is going. So you grab this jiggly thing right here and you mix it with the fish because that's nice and salty, and then you got your bite. That was amazing.
But as I was super excited eating and enjoying some nice seafood, this happened.
Can you guys see that? They did not devein the shrimp. So I'm gonna take upon myself and devein the shrimp. Good. Now that is deveined, let's give it a go. You know what that tastes like? Cocktail shrimp. Let's move on to this. What the hell is this? Wow, it's some fish jello. I'll be honest with you, this course was not my favorite.
And now it's time for the main course.
So this one right here is the roast beef. It has some sauce. We also have here something that I have no idea what it is. That's some pickled vegetables and also miso soup. If there's one thing I love, it is white rice. So the beef is actually sweet. Bamboo shoot rice. Never had it first time. Let's see. Pretty good. Not gonna lie. This concoction over here that I have no idea what it is. I think it's miso. I mean, it tastes amazing. The texture is very, very, very fluffy. It's great. Talking about miso, let's give this one a go. Oh, I love miso soup. Very nice main course. From the Western menu, my wife just got a sea bass, and I just want to show it to you guys. I'm sorry. It looked a lot better than this, everybody. My bad. Man, I want to try this one, not gonna lie. Very juicy, very flavorful, perfectly cooked. Here, before I eat the whole thing. Next up, caviar, everybody. Got the caviar pearls right there. Some of this waffle. Is that even a waffle? I don't even know. Put it right on the top. Salty, savory, exactly what you would expect. They also give you this ball right here. I think it's cream cheese. So good. So my lovely wife got the filet mignon. Let's see if they hit the temperature in the middle of the air. Medium, huh? I think they nailed it. It's nice and tender with a little bit of the potato and everything combined together. That thing is as dry as the Sahara Desert. You gotta use the sauce on this one, everybody. Much, much, much better.
But don't you forget about dessert, because this one was quite weird.
Like most of the things on this flight, I have no idea what it is. What the hell is that? It's lightly sweet, not too sweet. You know, usually in the US, when we eat the desserts, it's extremely sweet, but not here.
Later, I came to find out that it was black sesame pudding. I mean, how am I supposed to know that, right? Now this was my favorite part. Time to sleep and rest. Check this out.
Now, the wonderful flight attendant just came up to me and said, like, whenever you want, let us know. We're gonna go ahead and make your bed for you. Wow, there's a bed. We got a bed.
Good night. Never had I laid down all the way on a plane like a bed, everybody. It was literally the first time. I slept like a baby.
Good morning, everybody. I feel refreshed. But now it's time for breakfast. Enough talking, let's eat.
There was also two options. You could choose Japanese breakfast or Western breakfast. My flight attendant made me a suggestion. She said, go with the Western breakfast.
We got the breakfast. We have kind of like a Novolux bagel with some cream cheese and capers. I also order, I guess it's like a Japanese egg. Now this one here really caught my attention. It's like some nori with sardine. Oh, that's so good. I'm so happy I went with this first.
Surprisingly, I love the sardines and seaweed. It was amazing. I even ordered more.
Can I have one more of that? Okay, so this one is the Japanese dessert one. I don't know what it is. Let's see. Oh, that's kind of sweet, creamy. So I'll leave that towards the end. And just because I haven't had bread yet, I gotta order some bread, everybody. Why is bread so good? Let's go for this bagel. Oh, I love salmon. I love fish. Overall, not bad. I went ahead and ordered some coffee and milk. That's necessary, especially for what we are about to do in Japan. We got a lot of things going on. Stick around.
This was my experience flying to Japan. There are so many videos to come from this trip. I went everywhere. I did everything I possibly could. I know you will enjoy this series. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe because there are a lot more things to come from the Japan trip. See you guys very soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks ZBiotics for sponsoring this video. On today's video, we are going to be reacting to the master of barbecue, Franklin himself. And I got the perfect guy here, Jeremy, to judge with me. Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Oh, this is gonna be good, everybody. If you guys are not familiar with Franklin Barbecue or Franklin himself,
I've called him Barbecue Jesus before because everybody who's into barbecue knows who he is. And if it wouldn't have been for Franklin being popular, I probably wouldn't be in barbecue today. So we'll see how it stands the test of time.
And this is what they call a packer cut brisket. This is what you'll get at the grocery store. Still, this is the flat, this is the point, lean part, fatty part.
that's funny that he says that you get in a grocery store. He's in Texas, everybody. It is almost impossible to find something like that here in Miami. How about you? Where you at?
You can find it sometimes at a grocery store, but if you do, they're almost always select or a really horrible quality.
You put so much love and passion on a brisket, and it's such a long cook. If you're gonna cook it, cook the best one you can find.
And briskets are a lot easier to trim up if they're cold. If you let them warm up too much, if you let it sit out on the counter, then the fat will get real hard to cut through.
You agree with that statement?
100%.
This part right here, this is the decal that goes underneath right in here. So I'm gonna kind of cut this down.
A brisket is so uneven.
Yeah.
You do everything you can in trimming to make it as even as possible. So you don't have one part of the brisket that's this thick and another part that's this thick.
This is where the heat's gonna be coming from on the cooker. So you definitely wanna leave plenty of fat there to kind of protect it.
Is he tossing everything?
I think it's going to be repurposed for sausage or to make tallow or something like that. But with the volume of beef that they go through cooking 100 plus briskets a day, they're going to have to find purpose for everything that they trim off, because otherwise they're throwing away thousands of dollars every single day.
I agree 100%. We never throw it away because there's always something else to do.
There's a huge layer of fat that goes through there. And if you flip it over, it'll manifest itself right here. And we definitely don't want that, because there's no way that's gonna turn out good.
I use that for burgers. I grind that up and it's totally okay, to me at least.
That, we don't want to carve any more into this brisket than that. It's kind of aerodynamic. It's enough where the smoke will kind of...
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that way of trimming.
Okay, so there's this phenomenon in barbecue where if Aaron Franklin said a thing one time, it becomes gospel
Gold.
truth, right? Because he really popularized barbecue for a lot of the people who are in the hobby now. And he said aerodynamic. I think what he means is you don't want small pieces jutting out that are going to burn. You want to reduce the surface area so that it stays as juicy as possible.
The other thing is there's a lot of silver skin on the bottom of this. If I was only doing 1 or 2 briskets, I definitely would trim this. If I was doing a competition, I would also very much trim this.
All the fat on the underside, unless it's really thick, like you could grab it with your hands, I don't even mess with it. Because on offset cookers, there's so much airflow that's going to render out. It's actually going to protect the meat side. I don't even bother with it.
A lot of briskets, if you'll look right here, it's got a huge gash in there. That came from the processing plant where this thing came from.
Don't you hate when that happens?
It's the worst, because a lot of times those gashes you can't see in the package.
It's the worst.
It's so annoying.
This thing's trimmed up. We got about a 1/4 inch of fat all the way across. It's looking good. That's trimmed out. It's shaped real nicely. I think we're ready to put some rub on it. A lot of people have really complex rubs. A lot of people put chili powder, cumin, paprika, all kinds of stuff. The way we roll here in Central Texas, it's half salt and half pepper.
Is that true, Jeremy?
Most places in Central Texas, in my experience, they'll say, oh, we do salt and pepper. You should understand that to mean, oh, we're using a seasoned salt and black pepper. That's how I interpret it, unless I'm told specifically otherwise. And nobody's obligated to give up their secrets.
I agree 100%. They should guard it completely, and there's nothing wrong of not telling it. But when we taste it, at least me,
It's about their skill and the method that they
100%.
use, and paying attention to those small details that sets them apart from, you know, Joe Blow who's just cooking a brisket for the 3rd time.
You want to keep this thing moving. The granules of the salt are a lot heavier than the pepper, so the salt's going to settle to the bottom. So you want to kind of keep it going.
Do you do that, Jeremy? Do you mix the salt and pepper together? Because I feel like I never get it right and it always sinks to the bottom. So I like to put it individually.
I used to do that, but when you're doing a huge volume, I'm gonna have big shaker bottles. I'm gonna fill them about a third of the way up with black pepper, a third of the way with salt, and then have room to shake it, season the whole thing. Then on the fat side, I add a little bit of seasoned salt.
And a lot of people put a whole lot of rub on a brisket. In my opinion, that it's better to go a little conservative on how much rub. You really want the flavor of the meat to shine through. This is barbecue. You can put a lot of rub on something, cook in the oven, and get whatever flavor you want, but it's salt and pepper. It's super simple. I feel pretty strongly about that.
With barbecue rubs, I think people tend to overdo it, and so what you can get is kind of almost a sandy texture when it's done, and I'm not a fan of that at all. I want the seasoning to be integrated into the bark. It's almost like it sinks into the fat on the top, and then each bite is like the smoky, juicy goodness that you like.
I think the biggest mistake people make across the board is just putting too much rub on this stuff. I don't want it to be cakey, and I don't want it to be overpowering when it's finished. So that right there, in my opinion, is a perfectly rubbed brisket.
One thing I want to say is that if it hadn't been for this video and videos like it, I would have been doing competition style barbecue at home probably forever. What he was doing was showing people how Central Texas barbecue restaurants cook food. And so for that, I'll be forever grateful because I started trying to mimic this and kind of discovered the style of barbecue that I most like.
I'm 100% with you because before I cooked my first brisket, I watched this video 1,000 times. Even though it was going to be sous vide.
Cooker's hot. I'm going to put it on. So I'm putting the brisket on right now. We got a firebox on this side.
How you like that smoker?
He's not using that at the restaurant, but that is an old country Pecos, and I had a similar smoker, but look at the size of that brisket on there. That thing is humongous. It's the size of the smoker, man.
Yeah. There he goes. Goes to tell you, everybody, you don't need something expensive in order to make something great. That's why most of the time I use a Weber.
Knowledge is far more valuable than equipment.
There you go. Couldn't have said any better.
So the fire is going to come up here. It's going to go across here, underneath, on top, swirl around, do all kinds of stuff, and go out the smokestack. I'm going to put a water pan in here. And that's going to keep a lot of moisture in the cooking chamber. It's going to help it not burn quite so easily.
First time I smoked a brisket, I also used that. Do you still use that today?
No. So in the configuration that it's in right there, you actually don't want to do it that way because it forces those hot gases underneath the water pan and you burn the meat side of your brisket. But because it's the meat side, it's the underside, you can't see it. And so it's not until you pull it off to wrap it, you see, oh, the entire bottom is black and burned. No! Ask me how I know that happened.
We learn from our mistakes. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
A good rule of thumb to go by for how long a brisket's going to cook is generally about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes per pound. For this brisket, I always kind of calculate about 12 hours. If I'm going to serve it at 5 p.m., I'm going to start it at 5 o'clock a.m.
If it's going to take 12 hours to cook, you're going to want to start it way before 12 hours because you're going to want to let it rest. You're not going to want to take a brisket off the smoker at 200 degrees and slice it immediately.
No. Because
all the juice is going to run out. It's going to begin to oxidize.
Are you a believer of a longer rest time makes it better or shorter?
100% a longer rest. When I started resting briskets for 8, 12 hours, my briskets improved. And from that point on, long rests are the only way.
Long rest. Is there a limit?
A good rule of thumb, instead of 12 hours before you want to serve it, cook it 24 hours before and then have 12 hours of cooking, about 12 hours of resting, and you're going to be happy.
Yep, Franklin Barbecue is the god of barbecue. But before moving forward, let me thank today's sponsor, ZBiotics. One of the main reasons I barely drink is because I hate the feeling the very next morning. But ZBiotics is here to help. The first time I tried it, I went to one of those fancy pairing dinners where they pair a different glass of wine with each entree. It was 8 courses. I drank a bottle of ZBiotics before, and I was really impressed how good I felt the next day. ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to help you feel better the morning after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. ZBiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make ZBiotics your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. This year, I want to form more sustainable, better drinking and fitness habits. This is not an all or nothing approach. ZBiotics allows me to enjoy nights out out in moderation while working towards my goals. Go to zbiotics.com/Guga or scan the QR code on screen right now to get 15% off your first order when you use Guga at checkout. You can also sign up for a subscription using my code so you can stay prepared no matter the time or occasion. ZBiotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/Guga and use the code Guga at checkout for 15% off. Thank you, ZBiotics, for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get right back to it.
Here's a little term people throw around. It's called, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. And that's very much true. If the lid's open, you're losing heat, you're losing smoke. It's gonna take a certain amount of time to recover that heat. And that really gets people in trouble a lot of times when they're getting impatient and meat's not cooking on time, dinner's about to get served, people are showing up to the house and it's just not ready yet. You keep on checking it, you keep on checking it, but the truth is, you're just shooting yourself in the foot.
Is that true?
It's true, and there's a wrinkle where it is important to take a look to make sure you're not burning anything. But one thing he's saying that's very true is when you open the lid, not only are you not cooking the brisket further, you're actually going backwards. So if you have a lid open for 10 minutes, it takes you 20 minutes just to get back where you were before you opened the lid.
Wow.
So it's very important.
The biggest key to having a good brisket or a good rack of ribs or a good chicken or a good anything you're cooking on a barbecue is fire management. I guarantee that if you keep a good steady temperature, it's gonna cook way faster and more consistently across the board.
If somebody were to be your friend and is gonna cook, which one would you recommend?
I usually recommend pellet cookers for most people.
I agree, it's just so much more convenient. Set it and forget it, babe. Come back later and you're ready, you're good to go.
There's a lot of different ways to retain moisture in a brisket or anything else you're cooking. One way that I really like is to have a water pan in there. I always keep a water pan unless the humidity is really high, and sometimes it gets like that here in Texas. But elsewhere, it may not. Always keep a water pan. Other ways are spritzing, mopping.
Are you a believer of spritzing?
If the cook is going properly the way I want, no need to spritz. But, oh no, it got a little hot, that's starting to get a little crispy, I'm gonna have to spray that exposed meat. You know, I just let it get away from me a little bit. But if the cook is perfect, just let it do its thing.
So to wrap or not to wrap, I really try not to wrap, but sometimes you just have to.
I like to take the bark of my brisket a little crunchier than I actually want it, and then I wrap it up, usually with butcher paper and tallow, and then soften it back up to just the right level.
Yeah, when it becomes crunchy and it's nice, and I always think it's a little bit too crunchy, but then when you wrap it, it becomes soft again.
So you could either burn a really clean fire and not wrap it, you could use butcher paper, or you could use foil. Here in Texas, using foil is called a Texas crutch. I don't like to use it, but it's gonna retain a lot of moisture in there, it's gonna steam itself, and you could really cook a lot faster.
I love it because of that. You can cook it a lot faster, everybody. After you're outside for 6 hours, 8 hours, you go like, God, can we just be done with it? Guilty, right?
We've been there, yeah.
That's why I like it.
Also, the time that you decide to wrap is gonna have a lot to do with how your fire's burning. A lot of times I won't wrap at all. I could finish off a whole brisket in 12, 13 hours and not wrap it once until it's finished. But this one, for this episode, we're gonna wrap it. It's looking just about right.
Couple things. First of all, I don't think that's the same brisket. I would bet a lot of money that that brisket has been swapped out. I think that brisket that went on was humongous. This one is small.
It's not the same brisket, Jeremy. It's not the same brisket.
I don't think so.
Normally what I do is I put my paper like that, kind of wrap it up, cup that around the point, put that paper folded along the, whatever the actual angle of the flat is. Roll it over once, tighten it up, roll over a second time.
Are you a believer that tighter is better?
Yeah, I think if you wrap it loosely, you have a lot of exposed surface area, and that paper wicks out moisture like a candle wick, pulls it out, and then you have a lot of evaporative cooling, and it slows down the cook process.
Hasn't been wrapped a real long time. I kind of flop it down. Yes, you may wonder, this brisket would be really hot, and it's true. I don't really have any nerve endings in my hands anymore.
One thing that is true is like the real OG Texas pit masters, they check for doneness by feeling the meat side of the brisket. So Joe checks briskets that way. I'm like, I don't know what kind of witchcraft that is. Give me a thermometer and I'm gonna be poking and
Yeah,
prying.
me too. Yeah, I can tell. And then you know how they say like medium rare.
Rare's here, opposite the palm, at the top. Medium is there, and well done is at the top of your wrist.
That doesn't work for me either.
We're gonna let it rest for about an hour, or at least until it's cool enough where you can get your hand under there comfortably and it doesn't burn too badly. I like to cut it, and I kind of hold it, and you never want to scrape off the fat or the bark. We work really, really hard to render fat, and we work really, really hard to keep a good bark, and I don't want to cut it off. It's the best part. And this when you cut in these, it's the end cut, but you can always tell that's what a brisket should look like. Should have a smoke ring like that.
What you see there and those muscle fibers separating, it's a little over. It happens. We've all done it. We've all been there. But I remember seeing this and thinking, oh, that's the pinnacle of food. What I wouldn't give to have a bite of that brisket.
You see, we've learned a lot through the years, huh?
So that's a really good looking slice. It should look moist too. It shouldn't be tough. When you're looking for a brisket, it shouldn't fall under its own weight, but you should be able to pull it delicately.
I remember watching that and I was like, man, that's the Bible, you know?
Yeah, because before I got into barbecue, I'd never had any meat that did that, of any kind.
Right.
And so I thought, oh, if someday, if I
One
can
day.
do that once, I will have arrived.
Keeping it all held together so it'll stay moist and won't oxidize on the edge of the slices. This is the fatty half, the point. You're gonna turn it 90 degrees, and I'm gonna cut right down the middle. And this,
No. Don't do that. Start at one end of the point and move over to the other end, and you'll have even slices. Your life will be so much easier.
Pro tip.
and in a perfect world, if you wanted to get crazy, you could do burn-ins. And this is where the burn-ins would come from, right there.
If you had to choose, which piece would you eat?
The piece he's got in his left hand right now.
That's
I'm looking at him like, I want to get some
I
of
want
that.
to eat that one, not the slice. Forget the slice.
I'm not hungry, but my mouth is watering looking at that right now.
This is the best part of the whole cow, right here.
I disagree. Not the whole cow. Maybe the brisket.
Okay, what's the best part of the cow?
Picanha. 100%. If you put a brisket next to me and you put a picanha, come on, Jeremy, which one is better?
Don't take the brisket.
Oh,
I think it's time to eat. Getting really, really hungry. It's been a while. Maybe a couple little burn-ins in there. Yar.
I've been to his restaurant, and at the restaurant, it looks 10 times better than that, and it is phenomenal, everybody. What do you think, Jeremy?
When I've been there, everything looks glistening
Yes.
and juicy,
Yes.
and it just makes you think like this is going to be the juiciest, most tender meat you've ever eaten, and it looks dark. The bark is basically black. And for me, my idea in my head of what a brisket should be is the brisket at Franklin Barbecue, because I had it and it was the best I'd ever had.
I agree. That's why he's the king of barbecue. Is that a fair statement?
I think so.
Yeah. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys go check out Jeremy. Everything will be on the link in the description down below. Let us know if you guys agree with us or disagree. I'm sure some people will disagree.
For sure.
Go some barbecue, everybody. Go have some. It's pretty good.
Agreed.
See you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Today we're going to be doing a full tour of everything that I use, the equipment that I use, but most importantly, what everything looks like behind the scenes so that you guys can check it out. As you already know, this is a new channel. I'm going to be putting a lot of things, including shorts, podcasts, barbecue review, sous vide machine review, food review, restaurant review, and basically anything you want to watch, just let us know. We're going to make it happen on this channel. So basically what I'm trying to tell you, everything goes. This is the area where I film all of the Guga Foods video. Right here, we sit down with Angel, all of the guests to eat every single time. Funny story, we have a big problem with this table sometimes. It's just not big enough. I want to have more guests because behind the camera, there's always more people that you guys don't see and they want to eat, you know what I mean? Moving along here, I do have a lot of grills. I am fortunate enough that a lot of companies send it to me to try it out. But if you ask me, Guga, which grill is the one that you use the most, it will be this one right here. I would love to do a full review why I specifically like this one. Let me know if you guys want to see it and give you all the good, the bad, and the ugly about this kettle. Another one that I use quite often will be the smoker right here. Every single time you see a Guga Foods video or a sous vide video, I use the smoker quite a bit as well. And obviously, I cannot go inside without talking about my flamethrower. I use this thing every single day, everybody. The wonderful thing about it is that it's nice, quick, fast. If you don't pay attention, it just falls down on the ground, you know what I mean? Twice. Wow. I also have a pizza oven right here, which we use quite often. Here I got all of my editors, but most importantly, the one that makes the magic happen, you know? Now right here, if you've been watching the channel from the beginning, I actually used to make videos on this kitchen right here. No longer do, and I'm gonna show you the studio inside, but we have the cameras ready to go at all times. This is something everyone loves. Right now, we don't have a lot of experiments going on, but it's the dry ager. Moving on to this section here, this is the sous vide section for
for my sous vide channel. Right now, I only have 2 circulators. Usually this is full of circulators. I have different size containers that I need to use for depending on what it is that I'm cooking. Here's where it all began, honestly. In the beginning of Guga Food's channel, I used to do videos right here. We only use it for cleaning. All right, moving on. This is the studio. This is where I film 90% of everything that goes on to the channel. I like to put the knives. A lot of people say like, oh, why do you have so many knives? Because knives are good. I love knives. I am a knife collector after all. This is my prep table. This is where I prep everything. This is the background for all of my channels. My knives are available to me at all times. I also use quite a bit of tongs as well. And right here next to it, I have my vacuum sealer. I use this thing every single day. Moving on, something everybody likes to see, the freezers. Everything completely categorized. Only skirt steaks right here on the top. Over here, only ribeye steaks and all the other cuts that I actually need. I mean, I literally have the entire cow in this freezer. And if I want something really, really fresh, all I gotta do is call up my meat dealer and say, Emilio, I need this right now. This one right here is all of my Wagyu meat. It's probably the most expensive thing in this entire house. We got one more freezer, believe it or not. Yeah, we got a lot of meat, man. This is my pork and fish freezer. Check it out. We got pork belly, we got roast, some salmon, and I don't know what this is doing over here. Huh, why is that in there? But that is the food tour, everybody, of the entire studio. Let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see on this channel here. We will definitely do it for you. Stay tuned for more interviews, side dishes that you have been asking me for such a long time to make specific videos for side dishes, and much more. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. We have all made some bad steaks. Today, I'm going to react to a few of them from TikTok. I have my fair share of fails, I'll tell you that. Most of them, you've seen it and I posted online. Always good to experiment because you never know if something is going to be bad unless you try it. But then again, maybe some things should not be tried. Regardless of what it is, today we're going to react to these TikToks. Here we go. Peanut butter on the steak. Well, that reminds me of something. So slowly but surely, I worked all the way around it. Make sure everything was coated with peanut butter. But let's keep watching. You see, here's where everything went wrong. They're trying to cook with the peanut butter. If it was me trying something like this, I would be making a sauce separately. That's why they have peanut sauce in Asia. Oh, and she's putting everything back into the jar. That jar is a no-go. Do not eat any peanut butter from there. Of course, you gotta do that flip because you gotta sear both sides. Oh man, this is just a complete disaster. And of course, ended up in a marble countertop. That is a classic TikTok right there. At least the one I dry aged on, in the end, it looked fantastic. You gotta give me at least that credit. But this one right here, I don't know if I'll be eating that one, I tell you that. All right, next one. Is that lava? That's lava. Holy moly. You see, a lot of people make this huge mistake. They think the hotter the pan or whatever it is that you're cooking with is better. It's not better. You want it nice and hot, but not too hot because you don't want to burn it. You want a golden brown steak, not a black steak, everybody. Come on, man. What makes a steak taste good is that nice, wonderful crust, which has to be golden brown. And I can guarantee you this one is going to be all black. Let's watch. Oh, look at that. Completely black. I guarantee you it's going to be completely overcooked in the middle. Watch. Oh, come on. Who's going to want to eat that? No, thank you. I'll pass. Deep fried steak from the meat done. Ooh, oh, whoa. That oil is a little bit too hot, my friend. You see, this is one of the wonderful things about deep frying a steak. A lot of people is going to think that it's a mistake and you shouldn't do it. Actually, you should. However, there is a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. If you put your oil way too hot, it's going to get you a nice crust, obviously. But at the same time, the inside is not going to be perfectly cooked. So you don't want it too hot. I would say about 300 degrees Fahrenheit is maximum, depending on the thickness of your steak. I've done this quite a few times and it works like a charm. But I'll be honest, this one right here, I think it's going to be a little bit too raw in the middle. Let's see. Oh, you see? It's a little bit too raw. But don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with a raw steak. This is my good friend Don. Oh, he enjoy it too. I mean, I will eat that raw too. It don't matter, everybody. That's what we like to call a blue deep fried steak. Good work, the meat Don. I would eat that, even though it's kind of raw. What? Babe? Babe? Oh my God. What just happened? I mean, she's coming out and she has all good intention and all that good stuff. And then suddenly, oh, she fell. Oh, it fell on top of her leg. Ouch, that has to hurt. Ouch. Babe. Babe, you gotta call Babe, everybody. Babe will always come to your rescue. All right, we got this one here. I also have a grill similar to this. Oh, look at that nice golden brown crust. That is the worst thing that can happen to you. Whenever you have a nice, perfectly grilled steak and everything just fall down, use the 2-second rule. I'm just kidding. Never use the 2-second rule. That does not work, everybody.
The easiest way to make a perfect steak every time, the reverse sear method. First, you need a thick cut steak.
That's right. If a steak is thicker, it's better.
I got a 2-inch grass-fed ribeye here. Pat it dry. Seasoning of choice, I'm using Big Dave's.
That kind of rub is kind of funny, man. I like to keep it nice and traditional. Salt, pepper, garlic powder is good enough for me.
Into an oven at 275 until it reaches your desired internal temp.
Very good.
You need a meat thermometer. It's essential.
That's one of the reasons I always say use a thermometer. There's so many different variations. The poking thing, like Gordon Ramsay tells us, it does not work, everybody. It might work for him because he has so much experience. But for us that don't cook every single day 1,000 steaks, even though I cook more steaks than normal people, I still rely on my thermometer. It is the only true way to get an accurate result.
Pulled it at 119, 120 for a perfect medium rare. Sear it for 90 seconds or so per side. Build that beautiful crust. And right here, ladies and gentlemen, you got wall-to-wall pink perfection.
If you want the easiest way and you have time, the reverse sear is definitely the way to go. But a lot of times, if you don't have enough time and you want to cook the steak fast, the front sear is actually okay too. However, it takes a little bit more practice, and the longer you do it, the better you get at it. And I do believe that you also get a better crust. But if you want edge-to-edge perfection, the reverse sear is good, or something even better, do it sous vide.
I just took the steak out of the oven, and this is what it's looking like.
What?
Right, I want to check one of these
Oh
and see how they're
no,
looking.
you don't do that. Oh, you
it
don't
might
do
need
that
a little
with steak.
longer.
That's just not right.
I mean, outside.
Oh my God, look at
pretty
that.
good.
Oh no. No, please. No, look at her boyfriend. Her boyfriend's like, hell no, take that thing away from me. I can guarantee you it's going to be overcooked. Just by the, oh man.
Yeah, that's... Ooh. Overcooked. Yeah, it's like leather.
Never overcook your steak, everybody. That was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the thumbs up. And if you want me to react to any other videos, put it in the comments down below. We might just do it. See you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. On today's video, I'm going to be cooking steaks right in front of Salt Bae's restaurant. Oh yes, it's a little cold here in Florida, as you guys can see. I just want to cook a steak right over there. You know, me and Salt Bae have not been the best of friends. Let's just say that we don't see eye to eye, but I am ready to put that aside. I don't know if that's true or not, but I thought, you know what? Would it be a perfect thing for me to cook right next to his restaurant? That sends a good message that I'm ready to become good friends. Salt Bae, if you are watching this video, I think you are an interesting character. Let's just say the least. I'm becoming a little soft, everybody. I'm becoming nicer nowadays. You know what I mean? So maybe he's willing to be my best friend. Now this is supposed to run an entire house with electricity. But if you open the tunnel right here, and we open the back, this spot has the outlets. We have two 120 and 150 amp. I'm gonna be using everything to test it and see if it actually can cook everything. And the first thing we're gonna start off is a butter poached steak. Let's go. Ha! Got my setup here. First thing I'm gonna do is see if this thing actually works. It does turn on.
Yes! Now, here's what I got to work with. I got a beautiful Wagyu picanha, marbly score 8, and I got some butter over here. Let's just say it's a generous amount, right? It is smoking, so it's working very well. I'm gonna go ahead and put this butter in here. Ooh, oh, I wish you could smell this, everybody. It smells phenomenal. 10 out of 10. See, we want to melt this butter nice and slow. I'm very curious to see how much better it's going to consume. We're starting off the steak with 201 miles and at 67%. When we're done cooking with the steak, let's see what's going to happen. The smell of this thing is intoxicating, everybody. Now, here's the deal. I'm not going to season the picanha at all right now because if not, it's just going to go bye-bye. Since it's fully melted, I'm going to start by putting the fat side down, okay? That's quite important. I'm going to lower it nice and slow, and it's also going to render a little bit of that fat, and I'll just swirl nice and slow. And then once I got that fat a little bit cooked, I'm going to go ahead and slowly put that picanha down. Immediately lower a little bit the temperature because I want to poach it nice and slow. And we're going to monitor the temperature here because the key is to cook it to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. No more, no less. I have reached 100 internal temperature, everybody. Exactly what I wanted. Take a look at this picanha. It looks phenomenal already. It's even getting a little bit of sear, which is surprising. I wasn't expecting that. I'm going to set it down right here. But now, just like every sous vide steak, we need to put a sear on it. I'm going to wait for this cast iron to heat up. It normally takes no time at all. It's already smoking. That's insane. All right, got a little bit of avocado oil right here. I'm gonna put that in. Now I'm gonna lower the temperature a little bit. I don't want it to be extremely hot because it might be a little bit too hot. And as always, please start with the fat first, okay? Always sear the fat. That is a key of a good picanha. If you sear the fat, it's gonna be way better. Oh man, this is quite fun, everybody. It's a lot better to cook outdoors than indoors. I want you to take a look at the fat. It's been no longer than, I don't know, maybe a minute. You see that? Golden brown. That's what we want. Nice, beautiful fat, golden brown. We want to have full contact right now. Now with butter poached steak, the best thing you can do is always season it before and brine the steak. Since we didn't have time with this one, we're gonna be seasoning it after. What a nice crust. And that crust is the butter caramelizing on the edge right here. That's amazing. That looks phenomenal. Beautiful, beautiful crust. We're gonna cook this picanha into the internal temperature is 135, which is my preferred on this. I got a nice, beautiful crust. I couldn't be happier. I know it's fully cooked in the middle, but now one thing that I recommend doing, and a lot of chef does as well, since it's fully cooked, we're gonna let it rest a little bit, even though it's freezing outside. Looks nice. It's starting to rain. Thankfully, it's not freezing weather. If not, it will be snowing. All right, so I got the picanha rested for quite some time. So let's go ahead and slice this thing up. It's nothing better than a nice warm steak. Tiny bit of black pepper. I would say for me cooking on the Cybertruck the very first time, I'm happy with it. It's nice and juicy. Maybe slightly medium instead of medium rare, but nevertheless, let's give this a try. I said it before, and I'll say it again. There's nothing better than a picanha. The butter poaching actually gave an additional extra flavor to the picanha, which is quite different. And it is expected to overcook slightly when you butter poach something versus you cooking it directly on the charcoal. For the first time cooking on a Cybertruck, it's a win-win. Even though the picanha was great, I wanted to cook some burgers and see how the Cybertruck would do. So I started by first caramelizing some onions. Well, that took about 45 minutes. It takes time to caramelize the onions, everybody. I'm not gonna lie. But as you can see, it's nicely caramelized, exactly what I want on my burger. I'm gonna actually set this aside right here. Now, we're gonna go ahead and cook the burgers. These are fresh patties. I'm gonna season it with a generous amount of salt, tiny bit of black pepper, and we're gonna cook this burger. Onions are super caramelized. I'm done with these onions for now. I'm gonna go ahead and reserve them right over here so we can build our burger. That's it. Have these burgers cooked nice and slow. While the burger is cooking, as you can clearly see, it's gonna take a second. I'm already gonna see if this thing can handle multiple things at the same time. So I'm gonna cook on the air fryer. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug multiple things in it to see if the Cybertruck can handle it. Let's see what's gonna happen. I
I don't know if it can take that much power. These are very powerful appliances. Prep some fries, baby. Got some fries right here. So I'll cook the fries first because they take longer. And then right after, I'll be cooking the steak. And I'll show you exactly what I'm gonna do. Into the fryer they go. I'm gonna set it up to 400 for 10 minutes. Will you be able to handle both at the same time? I have no idea. That's a lot of power being drawn for the truck. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. So we're cooking both at the same time, the burger and also air fryer steak with fries, and we are still at 196 miles. It's drawing out almost no power. That's a good thing, but let's go ahead and flip these burgers. All right, those burgers still need a little bit more time, but the air fryer has been 10 minutes. Ooh, it is working like a charm. Oh, that nice warm. It's like I'm getting a facial. Very nice. Okay, so now here's what I'm gonna do. Since I got these fries going, I'm gonna make a little pocket right here in the middle. I don't want my fries to get soggy. They still need about 10 more minutes. This steak has been dry brined and seasoned since yesterday. We'll put it right here in the middle, and I'm gonna cook this steak here. Into the air fryer it goes at the highest setting, 450 for 6 minutes. Let's go. Let's see how that one is gonna turn out. And my burgers are looking great. This griddle is not as powerful as I thought it was gonna be, but we're getting somewhere. Oh, okay, we're getting somewhere. I'm gonna put these onions right back here just to warm them up a little bit since it's a little bit cold. Now it's all up to you how much onions you want. I'm going to put this much right here. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna flip this burger, flip this one here. I'm gonna grab this American cheese. One goes right up here, and the second one goes right over here. I'm gonna grab this one. I'll put it right on top, just like that. And I'll grab this one, and I'll put it on top of this one. And I'm gonna grab this bun. I'll lay it down right here for now. Tiny bit of Japanese mayo. I'm gonna grab the burger, put it right on top, just like that. And I'm gonna crown the burger. Now we're not done yet, and here what makes this burger quite special for me. I'm gonna go ahead and skewer it all the way down, just like that. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and slice this burger right in the middle, like so. Now here's the thing. You can clearly see that the burger is cooked all the way through, right? But here's what's gonna make it even more special. I'll put a tiny bit of mayo here, tiny bit of mayo here, and I'm gonna lay it right down there. Same goes with this one, right on top of the mayo. We're gonna just let this caramelize for a little bit. Oh yeah, I got a nice little caramelization here, and I wanna show you guys. Now that looks delicious to me. Oh yeah, ooh, beautiful. Let's check on our steak. Ooh, steak and fries. I mean, I'm not proud of this crust. I'm not gonna say it's a perfect crust, but the last thing you wanna do is to overcook the steak. You overcook a steak, that's sacrilegious. And right now it's still at 75 degrees Fahrenheit, so we can go a little bit longer. No problem at all. While that's going, let's taste these burgers. What good is it if you make good food and you don't share, everybody? Cheers. Let me know how it tastes, huh?
Cheers.
Let's see.
Oh, those caramelized onions are fire, dude.
That's so good. It's greasy, delicious, exactly what you would expect from a burger. You know, if your burger is not greasy, you're not doing it right. What do you think? So good, right? And obviously, it's not medium rare, and it was never supposed to be. This is a caramelization burger. The more caramelized it is, the better it's gonna be. I mean, what a wonderful bite. You like it?
Yeah.
You don't want to talk? You're too cold?
It's very cold.
This warms you up, though. We got an air fryer steak. I'm excited to try that. I think it's time. Oh, I don't mind that at all. Is it perfect? No, absolutely not. But we got a little bit of caramelization here on the steak. The fries are nice and crispy. Some of them are not evenly cooked, but that's fine. Oh, that's good. Super crispy. This is gonna hit different. Grab my steak. I'm gonna let my steak rest right here. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think the Cybertruck was gonna perform this well, cooking an actual meal for the family. When I first started, I was a little bit skeptical about cooking the steak on the back of the Cybertruck, but it performed very well. It did its job. It provided the electricity that it needed to provide. And the steak, obviously on an air fryer, it's not the best steak ever, but you can clearly see, everybody, if you are in a hurry and you just wanna throw everything in to have a nice meal. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Will it be the best steak ever? Well, I'm not sure. We're gonna try it right now. Let's go ahead and slice it. I'm not calling this one a medium rare, for sure not. I'm calling this one kind of like medium. As you can see, the longer it sits, more the red will come. But nevertheless, let's give you guys an honest review here. Yo, it's not perfect, but there's nothing wrong with that. I do not mind this. If you are tailgating, you want to cook something quickly, it works very well. As you can clearly see, the longer you sit down here, the more red it becomes. I call that steak blooming, so it's the redness, the pinkness is coming out. Right? It's not like a charcoal steak, which on the charcoal will be better, but if it's a nice cold day, I don't mind this.
It's so cold out here. You could have made a steak however you wanted it. As long as it was warm, I like it. But regardless, this is actually pretty good. Not the best crust, but
No.
throughout,
Not at all.
still pretty tasty. Let me try one of these fries.
Yeah. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about the microwave, everybody? The huge microwave, which is black, but at least it's black, it's not silver. Now I am gonna go ahead and serve a little bit of this steak to Salt Bay's employees so that they can taste my steak. I wonder if they're gonna let me record it. Well, I just hope the people there likes my steak. Let's see what happens. Here goes nothing. See you guys on the next one. Take care, buddy.
Thanks Strong for sponsoring this video. On today's video, we're making the Krabby Patty. As a big fan of SpongeBob, today I'm dedicating this video to him. I don't know if you know, but this year is going to be SpongeBob's 25th anniversary. And because of that, I'll be making the real Krabby Patty, the original. But I'm not only going to be doing that. We're going to take everything to a whole nother level by making my version of what I think it should be. So enough talking, let's begin. And everything starts off with this, the beef. And of course, we can't forget about all of the other ingredients, which are quite important. And nothing but the best for the good old SpongeBob. First up, to cook the original. Add a little bit of oil to the pan, immediately throw the patty in there, and cook it until it's nicely golden brown. That is the key here. Then you want to go ahead and toast your buns on some butter. This is a crucial step, especially if you want it to taste good. Once it's nicely toasted, it's time to build. First the bun, followed by that beautiful patty, then the lettuce goes right on top, one slice of cheese, a full ring of onion, followed by a tomato, then you add ketchup, mustard, pickles, and crown it with the top bun. Now you tell me, does it look like the original thing? I'd love to know in the comments down below, because even though this is a tasty burger, let me show you my version. And I think I got the secret ingredient down. Instead of using ground beef, a Japanese Wagyu A5 steak, the most expensive in the world. Now you're probably thinking, why would you use this for a burger? Hey, it's SpongeBob 25th anniversary. We gotta do something special. First up, we're gonna be using this mold and put it right on the middle, press it down real good until it will fully cut out a round shape. Oh boy. I already know if I cook this up just like this, it's going to start falling apart on me. And in order to prevent that from happening, we're gonna tie it up with some butcher's twine. Once that's done, season it with a good amount of salt and pepper. Then it immediately goes into a hot pan. The key of cooking a Japanese Wagyu A5 here is not to overcook it, but at the same time get a nice golden brown crust, which is exactly what everyone wants. Once that's achieved, go ahead and throw some butter and thyme. Let it fully melt and start basting the steak. This is what's gonna take everything to a whole nother level. At least that's my hope. Now for the onion, I'm not gonna serve it raw. We're gonna do something special. So into a bowl I mixed up some hot honey, followed by miso sauce. Mix everything well and this is ready. Then to char up the onions. The key here is to get some nice flavor on it. But once I was happy with the char, then you want to go ahead and baste it with the honey and miso glaze. Be generous with it. Instead of using a tomato, I'm going to be replacing it with bacon. We all know bacon makes everything better. And of course, you gotta toast your buns. Always. So for the assembly, first, add in the bun, followed by that Wagyu A5 patty we just cooked. Don't forget to remove the butcher's twine. Then you want to add in the lettuce, a slice of pepper jack cheese, a good amount of that caramelized onions, some beautiful bacon strips, a tiny bit of ketchup, mustard, pickles, and of course the top bun. Now I could tell you one thing. When I slice that open, take a closer look. Oh boy, this has to be the new original Krabby Patty. When you take a look at them side by side, let me know which one would you like to try first. As now, the only thing left to do is find out which one is going to be better. Well, let's find out right now.
Before moving forward, I want to thank today's sponsor, Strong. Are you an average cleaver? If you are, don't be average. I mean, nobody likes average dudes. Say hello to the dude she told you not to worry about. The Obliterator XL. Bigger is better. Take, for example, the McRib from McDonald's. It's just average. You can't use this cleaver with average stuff. You're gonna look like a chump. And that is the reason why I decided to make this monstrosity. And to slice it, the Obliterator XL went right through it, like a hot knife through butter. Strong makes the biggest and baddest knives out there. Don't agree with me? Name a manufacturer that does better. Go ahead. I'll wait. Go! Exactly. So go ahead and get yourself an Obliterator XL and be the chick magnet you always wanted to be. If you're interested, check them out, the link in the description down below. But now, let's get right back to it. It is a very special day today, everybody, because we got the Krabby Patties.
Oh, this is a Krabby Patty?
Yes, sir. Does it look like it?
Oh, fitoli, fitoli, fito, fitoli, 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 fito.
That was good. So I think it's pretty close.
I think I've dreamt of eating a Krabby Patty, but to actually be able to try one in real life, I don't know what to say. I'm a little speechless.
No, I did too, but I never thought that far ahead. Like, I didn't realize Krabby Patty has so many vegetables.
Oh, bro, you have to do it for the culture.
The culture?
The culture. You know, Nickelodeon, SpongeBob, you must eat it with the vegetables.
So if I eat it, can I slime you?
That's what the...
That makes no sense. Why would you do that?
Because Nickelodeon, they slime.
No, but I made it for you, so do you enjoy it, my friend? And if you don't eat the vegetable, I slime you.
Can I just get slime and not get vegetables?
Damn, it's that bad?
Angel really don't like vegetables.
So here's the deal. I want your honest opinion here. Let me know. Sounds like a plan?
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Leo looked like a little kid in a candy store.
Guga, did you make this with the secret formula?
No, I did not. Here we got the secret formula.
That looks like it's holding the secret formula right there. That's a good plate.
That's correct. SpongeBob is an icon, everybody. We all love it here, so I'm excited to try this and that.
Let's do it.
All right, enough talking. Let's give it a try. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Oh my.
What is that?
You know I don't like vegetables, bro.
That's good, everybody.
This tastes better than my dreams. I love how many toppings are on it.
Yeah.
It's so different than our conventional smash burger that we eat here. It's literally the perfect burger. I mean, how do you say it?
I think it's almost perfect. But if I just, so we're gonna go like this. Yep, just like this. And we're just gonna.
Not even the cheese?
Not even the cheese?
No, cheese is contaminated. Oh, that's so good. Thank you, SpongeBob.
That's so wrong, everybody. That's so wrong. Do not do that. But this is pretty good. You guys ready to learn what this is?
Yes.
Check it out.
It looks exactly the same.
It looks pretty similar, but it's not the same.
Oh, it's got bacon.
Got bacon. Yeah, I took out the tomato for you.
That's not the secret formula, bro. What is that?
Oh, hold on one second. Let me cut it one more, because this one here is a little bit pricey. Check out what is in the middle, Leo.
Oh, is that a steak?
What kind of steak is that?
Nah.
Is this Wagyu?
Correct. This is the most expensive Krabby Patty in the world. Let's go.
Let's get rid of this lettuce.
Well, I want to take a whole bite of everything. All because of SpongeBob. I wanted to make something special for it, so.
What kind of Wagyu?
A5.
Thank you, SpongeBob.
You ready to try it?
Oh yeah, baby. Come
All
on.
right, let's give it a try. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh, come on.
Bro, that is so good.
I'm speechless.
That is incredible. A burger patty compared with a Japanese Wagyu A5 steak in the middle with all these incredible vegetables. Even the bacon, just add to it, everybody. That is phenomenal. I mean, that's my opinion on it. And I think that that's the secret formula. What do you think?
I could not agree more, Guga. That's not the secret formula, bro. What is that? Got him! There's nothing more exquisite than having A5 inside of a burger with all these other toppings. You know, the original Krabby Patty is kind of sweet with the tomatoes and the sauce and the onions, but this has a more savory feel with the seasonings on the steak, the bacon itself, the cheese. It has a very different flavor profile, but you get that A5 juice and tender fattiness. This is phenomenal.
I think I found the real formula. Something about having bread on the Wagyu cuts the richness a little bit and it makes it so delicious.
Yeah. Here's the deal, everybody. Obviously, this is something extremely special. Shout out to SpongeBob for their 25th anniversary. Nickelodeon, what's up? We love you. But this was a lot of fun. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. Remember, everything I use is always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. It is true. Me and Salt Bae are not best friends. And there are a few reasons why I'm not a huge fan of his.
Holy shit. $1,200 for 2 people?
When I saw that price, I almost had a heart attack. But recently, I was chatting with my friend Nick, and this is what he said.
Guga, I know you and Salt Bae aren't the best of friends, but I have to say, I just met him. And I also went back to the restaurant for the second time. It was actually pretty good. So I think you should give the burger another try. See how it is. I think you might actually like it. Everybody deserves a second chance, Guga. You know that.
You're right. You're right. Everybody does deserve a second chance. You know what? Enough talking. We'll go to South Bay.
I have arrived, everybody. Against my will. You happy now, Leo?
I'm very happy now.
Want a burger?
I would love a burger.
Burger?
Absolutely.
Wagyu burger, baby. Better be good. That's why we're here. Nick told me to come. They also have the golden burger for $180.
We're not spending that kind of money.
But if you don't put the gold, then it's actually just $35. So we're gonna skip the gold because I'm paying for this.
We could just go to a Walmart down the street, buy the gold ourselves, put it on, and we save all that money.
We want to have 2 burgers.
How do you want it cooked?
How do you recommend?
Medium.
Okay, let's have medium.
It comes with cheddar cheese and caramelized onions.
Make it the way you normally make it. All right, Leo, we came for it.
All right.
Let's give it a try.
You know, Guga?
I hate the freaking grill marks. Why grill marks on the burger, man?
Even on the bread.
Seriously? Grill marks on the bun, on the burger?
How do they do that? They cut it open and then put it face down on the grill?
Yeah.
I can just imagine all the juice falling from the burger onto the... Oh, man.
Cheers, Leo.
Cheers, Guga. He said this was good?
Yeah.
It was actually pretty good.
Oh, man.
Oh, you went for a second bite?
Trying to give it a second chance just like you gave Salt Bae Bud.
So 90% of what I feel is a lot of char.
I also get way too much onion.
So the bread's burning and so is the burger, so it's kind of like extremely charred. So what happens is when you're taking a bite, you're automatically feeling that immediately.
I hate to say it, this is pretty bad. Especially, I guess, because of how they char it. You have a lot of uneven pieces of meat, right? You have some bites that are medium rare and a little bit juicy. You have others that are freaking well done. Guga, how much was this?
$35.
I feel like a lot about what this restaurant does is the presentation.
It's the experience.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't mind paying for a show if the food is up to par.
Save your money. I'm gonna show you how to make it better, everybody. For fair comparison, I'll be making Salt Bae's version and mine. That way we can taste them between each other and see which one is really best. Now for my burgers, the ingredients are quite simple. You got the burger balls, salt and pepper, American cheese, and a good burger sauce. For Salt Bae's is a complete different game because he loves caramelized onions on his burger. And there's nothing wrong with that. So the only issue with this is that it takes time. So after putting a little bit of oil and adding a good amount of onions in there, you want to let it cook nice and slow. If you go too fast, you actually burn the sugars. The best caramelized onions are the ones that take time. Because in the end, you should be left with something like this. Nice and ready for the burgers. Talking about the burgers, he likes his patties thick. But just like mine, it's all about the way he prepares that makes it unique. So let's get on it right now. Fortunately, he does use charcoal. Now it is extremely important for the grill to be extremely hot. And that's because we want to get a sear nice and quick. That's the thing with this burger. You want to get it seared super quick because the inside should be medium rare. The next step is to add some American cheese right on top. And now it's time to build. First, we add the patty to the bottom bun, followed by a generous amount of the caramelized onions. Now here's where it gets a little bit weird. They slice the burger in half and add it right back to the grill, giving a nice quick sear, producing some grill marks, and also charring up the bun. But there's one thing that it's still missing, and that is to add the Salt Bae flag. That is what jacks up the price. This is how simple it is to make a Salt Bae's burger. However, as you saw previously, the flavor is not the best. I want to show you how I like to make mine. That's even easier to make. And here's how. First, you want to get your griddle nice and hot. This one here specifically attaches to anything, including your stove, induction, or anything you might want to use. Once it's nice and hot, you want to go ahead and smash the burger patty, making it ultra smashed. Then you want to quickly season it with salt and pepper, as once the color starts changing, you want to scrape it really good so you do not lose that crust. And on the flip, you should be left with a nice caramelized piece of meat. I also recommend adding 2 slices of cheese, because to finish it, you want to stack them on top of each other, scrape the bottom really good, and make sure to toast those buns. And since the griddle is nice and hot, it gets the job done super quick. And for the build, add the patties right on top of the bun, followed by the top bun with a generous amount of burger sauce. Now this is my favorite burger, and it is super simple and easy to make. But the question is, does it stack up against Salt Bae's? Well, we're about to find out right now. Because now I say it is enough talking and it is time to eat. So let's do it.
All right, everybody, and here we got our beautiful burgers. What do you guys think, huh?
Burger video, baby.
You know what's going on.
Yeah, I see.
You know what's going on, but you don't know what's going on.
I'm just looking forward to trying actually good burgers, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, fair enough. So we got 2 experiments. Let me know what's going on. Be as honest as you can.
Let me know what's going on, bro.
No, you are actually the ultimate judge here, okay? Because you're not gonna be biased like me. Because you all know how I feel. I already said it. I'm not gonna say it again.
I hate the freaking grill marks. Why grill marks on the burger, man?
Okay, We're gonna go in this direction, grab your burger. They are all sliced in the middle, so there's no difference in comparison.
What happened? You just learned how to cook a burger or something? What's this?
Yeah, bro, a little bit of toastiness. Exactly.
No, this is not toast. What's the point of doing that? Like, this
You
is so
understand
stupid.
later? I agree. It is ridiculously stupid. Enough talking. Give me your honest opinion on this one. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
How does it taste, everybody?
Burnt.
Does it remind you of something?
Guga. I was there. The good thing about both of the burgers I've tried is that they're both free for me. I'm glad that they're free because, to be honest, I don't think I'd pay for this. The presentation might wow some people, but what it does to the actual flavor of the burger is not worth it.
Oh, first of all, this is like extra medium rare.
Yeah, oh, but look, it's a little burn. You say it was burned.
And I didn't even bite the burnt part, but it still tasted burnt. There's literally no char here, but it still tastes burnt. It's not good.
Overall, the flavor is a combination of extreme char and caramelized onions. I think the caramelized onions are totally fine, but everything else in this burger is not my favorite. So
That's a big problem, right?
Damn.
Yeah, he really doesn't like that burger.
You don't like it at all.
God, bro, you did not do your thing on that one.
The thing that you pointed out that you said is good is the onion. To point out the highlight of a burger is the onion? That's not a good sign.
So, okay, let's go for the second one. Enough talking. And even though this burger was still sliced in the middle, if you squeeze, you can still see juiciness, everybody. Well, let's give it a go on this one. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. No comparison.
When you have such a shit burger and then you go to a good burger, it tastes like God made it himself.
Damn, bro. I don't know. I might be biased, but what do you think?
This is better than that one. I don't care if your patty's a little bit thicker. I rather have the crispiness anyway. A little bit of sauce.
The sauce, man.
And don't burn everything.
Don't burn the bread. Why you burn the bread, everybody?
What's the point?
Saute.
I should have seen that coming.
And with one of these burgers, you can buy 7 of these.
That's ridiculous. We tried 2 burgers and unfortunately only one of them was good.
There you go.
The first one we tried it's just not a good burger. I wouldn't pay for it. It's not good.
And don't forget, all of my products now exclusively available at your local Walmart. We got the one-of-a-kind burger press. You can't find this griddle anywhere because it can be used in any surface. And let's not forget about the marinating kit. And if you want to keep your grill nice and clean, I got you covered. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
This one is a showstopper, and we're gonna keep it a little spicy. Let me show you how easy it is to make this. The first thing to do is to peel some potatoes. Then you wanna slice them up about a 1/4 inch thick. That's important so that they can cook evenly. Then I lube them up with a good quality olive oil. I season them with salt, followed by freshly ground black pepper and a little bit of smoked paprika. Just like steaks, I made sure to do both sides. Then I transferred them onto a baking tray, and into the oven they went at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. And that is great because it allows us time to make the filling. And to make it, it's even easier, and here's how. I started by cutting up some jalapenos. Notice that I'm leaving the seeds behind. We don't want it too hot, trust me. We have plenty of that already with the compound butters. So into a food processor I threw in the jalapenos and processed everything fine. Then I added cream cheese, followed by cheddar cheese and a good amount of garlic powder. As always, remember exact amount and ingredients always on the description down below for you. Because once you have blended everything, if you want a nice presentation, add it to a piping bag. If you don't have one, you can just use a Ziploc bag, as it's all about the presentation. Talking about that, by this time they were fully cooked. Check it out. This is what I was looking for. A perfect thick potato chip. Now all there's left to do is to pipe up some of that filling right on top. Then I placed some small slices of jalapeno right on top, sprinkled some flaky salt followed by smoked paprika, and finished it off with a good quality olive oil. And this is today's side dish. Is it good? You better believe it. And you saw how easy it is to make. But most importantly, how does it taste? Well, you're gonna find that out real shortly.
You let us know exactly how it tastes, Mom. I want to know your opinion.
Let's do it.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
That just hits different.
I don't think you need to eat the jalapeno to taste the jalapeno because the flavor is there.
Yeah, there's a little bit in there as well.
And it's not even that hot.
No, not hot at all. It's not supposed to be hot, but at the same time, the creaminess. You feel that creaminess?
Yeah.
This paste that I made here together with the potato is incredible. Highly recommend. Very easy to make, by the way. This takes no time at all, everybody. Obviously, I made it a little bit fancy. You don't have to do that. Just put some spoon in there and throw it like that. Take out those jalapeno on the top. You know what I mean? It's going to be fantastic.